Hello and welcome to Bengal Banter, where we interview newsmakers and share information important to ISU students and members of Pocatello community. This show is produced by students in the Communications, Media, and Persuasion Department at Idaho State University. My name is Chris Cardona, and I want to thank Terry Omby and Judy Morris for being here today, joining us on Bengal Banter. So what are your roles here at the university?
Well, I'm a professor in the photography program in the Communication, Media, and Persuasion Department.
And I'm a lecturer in the visual communication video as well as the multi-platform journalism emphasis.
Okay, and you guys are here to talk a little bit about a trip that is available to students this summer to Yellowstone, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, let's hear a little bit about that.
Okay, well this is a follow-up trip that I've kind of been involved in for a number of years, both here at ISU and when I was at another university. Myself and some of my colleagues from back in the Midwest, we have students from both universities, and we pick a location, typically a national park, and we rendezvous, and we have kind of a big outing of photographers and faculty, and explore the national parks.
So this is a collaborative effort with multiple universities?
Just one other university.
Okay.
So it's two, ISU and University of Central Missouri.
Oh, okay, great. And so when is this?
This is going to happen the middle week of June.
It's 3 nights. That's correct, right, Terry?
Yes,
And it's
4 days and 3 nights.
14th through the 17th?
Correct.
Yes, of June.
And so who's eligible to go? Do you have to be in the CMP department, or can any student go?
This is kind of limited to photography and video majors within our program.
Okay. Do you guys have a limit, like can only so many students go?
Yes, we're taking a couple of minivans, so we're kind of limited on size. Ideally, we'll have 5 people per van, so that would include both instructors as well.
No, if we got enough students, we could take even a third van, probably because, there's like 20 cots in each room?
Right.
Or something like that? So we could just...
So you're open to, if you get a big response, to,
I think
to
so.
taking more?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. And so Terry, you put together just kind of a little slideshow that we can look at?
Certainly.
Show some of the highlights of past trips?
Yes.
Take a look at
Okay,
that right
let's
now.
go ahead and roll that.
Okay, so what we'll be doing is, like I said, going to Yellowstone National Park.
Is that you there, Terry? in the
Actually,
image?
no, that is one of my non-traditional students.
Oh, okay.
He was doing a panoramic with an iPhone. I'm open to all kinds of equipment, but traditionally we do use professional gear.
Okay, okay.
But we will be photographing some of the more traditional areas within Yellowstone, as well as Grand Teton, such as Old Faithful and different landscapes and so forth. But as you can see, I believe on the next slide or two, we're going to explore all aspects of the park. My colleagues from Missouri, they are specifically focused on wildlife, and so we will join them for some of that. Hopefully we can find some moose so that Judy can...
I do love moose.
So that she can produce a little documentary. If we go to the next slide...
There's a moose right now.
Yes. Well, you can see where we're going to be staying. We have a consortium of universities in the Northwest that have a facility in West Yellowstone at the Yellowstone Studies Center. They provide classrooms, lecture rooms.
And I believe this is in West Yellowstone, so
Yes,
on this side of the park.
it
Which
is.
is excellent.
Like this slide here shows the sleeping accommodations. There's dorm rooms that one's male, one's female. Sleep up to 20 people. They provide cots. We just bring our sleeping bags. And
There's also bathrooms.
Showers, bathrooms.
One per side there.
The beauty of this, since it is designated for college use, it only costs $16 a night
Oh, okay.
to stay there, per person, yes. So it's basically indoor camping.
And we'll have the whole place to ourselves, I understand?
Yes. Yeah, we will have that whole place
So for all those who are afraid to be out in the wilderness, they still get the running water, the toilets.
Yes.
All of
Electricity, you know, the,
And there's a
Okay.
McDonald's in West Yellowstone.
that. And a McDonald's. Okay. So we have another slide that does kind of break down the cost. Did you guys want to go into that a little more?
First, this kitchen area will
Oh,
come in
yes.
handy for Terry when he prepares all the meals.
yes, I will be wearing probably several hats during this trip. I do like to cook, so.
I think we'll be sharing the duties though, so
I-
I won't put it all on you, poor guy.
Thank you.
So do we want to talk just a little bit about the cost? I know college
Sure,
students are always concerned about that.
And I've tried to keep this really tight, but for 4 days and 3 nights, lodging, meals, transportation, it looks like it's going to come out to about $240, plus or minus a little bit per person, $240.
Very reasonable for a 3-night trip with all the meals included and
Yes.
transportation.
And this is just, it's not for credit for a class or anything, is that correct? Just more experience?
No, this is more of an experience. It's an extracurricular activity. I will say, though, that I'm kind of using this as a test platform, because if this goes well and the logistics of it work out, the next summer I will be offering a 3-credit travel photography class exploring national parks, monuments, and memorials throughout the western region.
Wow,
Oh,
this
wow.
is news to me. This is the
Yes.
release of this information, I think. First public release of it.
That's right, Bengal Banter, we break
There
the
you
news
go.
here.
Breaking news.
So have you guys done trips like this before?
I have. I have, in the opening slide of the gentleman doing the panorama, we had rendezvoused with the folks from Central Missouri University over at Mount Rushmore and the Badlands. We went to Devil's Tower. In the past, I have taken groups of students from Kansas City down to Santa Fe, New Mexico. I've taken students even to New York City for a week. So I'm open to all different types of adventures and trips. But out here, we have this abundance of national parks. We're celebrating the 100th anniversary of the National Park System, so we're going to take advantage of what's in our backyard.
Yeah, most definitely. So you will be focusing mainly on the photography aspect, and
Correct.
Judy on the video
Yes.
aspect. So
Right.
you guys will be kind of dividing the students into those, or?
That's tricky because I believe most of the students will be Terry's doing photography, but I hope to peel away at least some of those students and do things like take a float trip in West Yellowstone, in Island Park, which you're more likely to see moose there and certain wildlife. It can be tricky to find wildlife aside from bison in the park. So, so I don't know, we're going to kind of play it by ear, but if we don't find a lot of animals, or at least a variety of animals, we can switch to more the culture of Yellowstone and doing video of people reacting to Yellowstone, interviewing a ranger, or even I've seen things like there's a bear spray booth. So if you're about to go hiking, that's something you don't see everywhere. So doing like sequencing video, getting lots of shots, and basically visual storytelling, I think will be a lot of fun.
And you bring up some of the uniqueness of Yellowstone and shooting there. Are there any other particular challenges or things that you like or don't like about working there?
Well, anytime you're shooting in an open environment, there's challenges. Weather can be a challenge. A lot of people, if it turns rainy, they just kind of head for Starbucks or whatever, but I'm one that likes to get out there regardless of what's going on. So, but weather can be a challenge. Certainly animals can be a challenge.
Yes. So if we happen to get someone petting a moose, some other tourist, and then that could go viral. You never know. But I'm concerned about the distance between things. It's such an enormous park, which
Right.
is kind of a blessing and a challenge, because just getting around the park, all of the traffic. Hopefully, we go on a time that's early enough that it's not going to have a tremendous amount of traffic. Because once you hit July and August, it's crazy. Car bumper to bumper, animal jams. A lot of good stuff.
Right. And there'll be the challenge of being able to actually rendezvous with our colleagues from from Missouri.
They won't be staying in the same
Unfortunately, no. They are staying in the center of the park near Lake Yellowstone, so we have a coordination effort to work through.
So we won't be doing all the stuff with them. We're going to rendezvous with them later
Right.
in the day.
Now, where this is affiliated with the university, and it's a learning experience, are there any special perks or maybe some behind-the-scenes access that you're able to get that normal tourists are not able to do?
Well, just the fact that we get to stay at the research center is at such an inexpensive rate is something that is not open to the public.
And I am hoping that we still will be going with the ranger at least on one of the days,
Right.
to access some sites that aren't open just to anyone. So I think that will be key to maybe get some behind the scenes access, which we'll be
Good.
arranging.
Yep.
So, Judy, this is your first trip of this type to Yellowstone?
Yes, it is, and it's very exciting. This is one of the reasons I moved here 2 years ago and took this job at ISU. I thought, well, wow, taking students up to the national parks, and that could be part of the course component maybe, and so I'm very excited to do this.
Do you want to address any of the rumors that you're using this to fulfill a personal agenda of seeing moose?
Well, I do love moose because it is the best animal. So
The best.
It is I mean, it's clearly the most beautiful of all animals. But the tricky thing is seeing moose actually in the park. The best place to see moose is usually Island Park on the way to Yellowstone, or even Grand Teton. I've seen moose. I don't think I've seen any moose in Yellowstone. So, so I might have to put those desires aside. But I don't know.
Is that going to be particularly difficult to do,
Yeah,
knowing that you are in Moose Central?
yeah. We may never get into the park because I'll talk everybody into going to Island Park.
So is there anything else that you would like to cover that maybe we didn't cover very well here, or anything else, any information you want the students to know?
Well, hopefully we can come back to share our wonderful video and
Well, I
photos
certainly
in a
hope so.
future episode
Yes.
and bring some students.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I do want to thank you guys for taking some time to come and join us here on Bengal Banter. My name is Chris Cardona, and we'll see you guys next time.